How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a great Sunday. Thank you for spending part of it with us, and welcome to the Rams pregame show delivered by Little Caesars, the official pizza of your Los Angeles Rams. It's Week 14. We're at SoFi Stadium. I'm JB along with DeMarco Farr and Maurice Jones-Drew. The Rams are back to 500. They're 6-6. They welcome the 10-2 Buffalo Bills. They've already clinched their AFC East division. They're winners of 7 in a row. DeMarco, you say some version of this from time to time. This is no place for scared on a day like this.
No. If you're scared, get a Rottweiler. If you're scared, it's too late now. But this is what you want to do. This is what you dreamed about as a kid. Playing professional football, playing against the best teams in the league, playing against an MVP candidate, trying to snuff out their destiny. So you're trying to fight for a Lombardi. It's not over for the Rams. It's not guaranteed for Buffalo or anybody else. It's still up for grabs. So this is why we play.
Yeah, to me, I always say this. I think Mike Tomlin said it best. This is the type of game where you cut off your eyelids. We're just got to go in there face first. You're going to see all the punches hit you in the face. You can't blink. You got to go in. You got to be ready to go. It's going to be a dogfight. This team loves to run the football. They love to stop the run, and they have some pass rush that can get to your quarterback.
Did you say cut your eyelids?
Yeah, cut them off.
I'm not cutting my eyelids.
No? So you're going to blink.
I'm just saying, let's go.
But your point is the Bills are not your problem. The
Right.
Bills are your opportunity.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Get this win, set yourself up for the final month of the season, a stretch run that includes rivalry contests against every one of your NFC West opponents. Someone referenced the running game in there. Let's start with that. Coming off their best rushing performance of the season, they hold Alvin Kamara to 4.4 yards per touch on defense. Between Blake Corum and Kyron Williams, they had a bounce-back game running the football behind what I think is their best offensive line against the Saints.
I completely agree. I thought having that two-back system, JB, really worked for the Rams, allowed them to get in a rhythm. You have a fresh back every time. And as a guy who's been the bell cow, has been part of a two-back system forces you to compete a little bit. It forces you to have to say, I can't take a play off. I can't have a bad run. And you saw that from Kyron, right? As Blake Corum got in, he got going. All of a sudden, Kyron comes in. A little more pep in his step, some big runs, breaking tackles, and then now your running game's going, you got your offense in rhythm. To me, if the Rams want to take this anywhere further than obviously the regular season, those two have to have a big day today and the rest of the season.
I think Blake Corum is ready to challenge for more reps. Is that fair? When you talk to him early, like, what are you thinking? This is week 1 or 2. Blake, what are you thinking right now? I'm just trying to learn. Now it's more of, what would I do with that carry? What would I do with that opportunity? So he's ready to challenge. I think Kyron understands exactly what's at stake now for this football team and what's going on behind him. You have to take advantage of every single rep, but either way, good for the Rams. I like a 1-2 punch.
Here's what I wonder about their opponent today. Buffalo, statistically, a capable run defense. Is that because they're built to stuff the run? Or is that because they fall out of bed and put up 30 points per game on offense, so they've dictated a lot of terms and a lot of styles to games? Because they'll sit two safeties over the top, and on a yards per carry basis, opposing running backs are actually getting nearly 5 yards per touch.
Okay, you see that banner up there, Maurice?
Yeah, I see
Okay,
it.
1999, do you know we were the #1 rush defense? We were good, but we weren't run stuffers.
That was
superb.
a
playing
Kurt
with the
Warner
lead.
stat?
Correct.
Okay,
They just stopped running the ball because they're behind so much. So same thing for Buffalo. They are set. I just talked to Von Miller. Seeing him hug Tom Brady was weird. It's like Batman hugging the Joker. It's weird.
Yeah.
But they got pass rushers galore. Their score will dictate when you stop running the football. So for the Rams, you must keep running the ball to keep Josh Allen off the field.
DeMarco, I have to break this. So Batman and Joker were actually like stepbrothers or half-brothers or something.
It's just weird. Yeah, weird.
Spoiler alert, come
I
on.
give you that. Listen. This is the thing. If you're Buffalo, yes, you're playing with the lead, and yes, they have those pass rushers. If you're the Rams, your job is to force those guys to have to get off blocks early, pick themselves up off the ground. This is going to be one of those scrappy games. You got guys got to be falling bite a kneecap. Old Dan Campbell. You got to play physical early with the Buffalo Bills to get those guys out of pinning their ears back, getting to your quarterback.
Let me ask you about the Rams off-ball linebackers, and really the last 2 games. Against Philadelphia, it did not go well in this field. We don't need to revisit that. In New Orleans, was it a bounce-back performance, or was that more about the Saints and their shortcomings? Because Omar Spates, one of the highest-graded linebackers in the league, and Christian Roseboom is on a heater.
I talked to Omar Spates about 15 minutes ago about being at this moment. Did you see yourself as a starter coming into the National Football League? Because it's weird being an undrafted guy.
Right.
I said, did you ever have any doubt? He said, absolutely none. I said, is it starting to slow down for you? He goes, just a little bit. I'm still learning, but a lot of times it's all instinct. So he's got the ability, he's got the speed, he knows how to play, and he's getting comfortable. So I'm glad you mentioned him. The more he plays, the better he's going to get.
Oh, JB, we saw those spurts in the preseason. We saw Spates hitting the physicality, and you're seeing that now. And as long as you get reps, as long as you get those quality reps in game situations that really matter, those things pan out for you. I think the Rams might have found them something here, very similar to Corey Littleton that we've seen in the past, very similar to some other guys. Troy Reader, when he was in his younger days, has stepped in and made some big plays. Maybe Omar Spates is a guy that comes in and is a guy for you.
Real quick word on Emmanuel Forbes, the corner from Washington, who the Rams claim this week. He isn't active today. He's not going to impact today's game, maybe as soon as Thursday at San Francisco. We'll see. But what was your reaction to that transaction from the Rams, and what does it mean to the group playing corner today?
I just introduced myself to him about a half an hour ago, and I could not believe, like, wow, you were as thin as they said you are.
Yeah.
He's not very big, but very confident guy, confident in his ability, but you just don't get rid of first-rounders that soon. No team does. So obviously something happened in Washington, but so be it. He's here now. He's not going to play. I said, how fast can you learn this defense? Bang, he's going to know it soon. So at some point, look for him to play a factor in the secondary.
I would say this too. Maybe he just didn't fit the NFC East, right? Maybe it just that type of ball that's played there didn't fit him. Maybe he's more of a West guy.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more spread. You have bigger, tall receivers. You need someone to be able to cover Marvin Harrison Jr., right?
Yeah.
He has that length. He maybe not have the girth of it, but he has the tall, long arms that can go and cover some of these bigger receivers, taller receivers in the game.
And I like this. He said it wasn't a Dan Quinn thing. That goes a long way with me. Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. This probably not the game for him, given what you just said, against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. It's like playing an outside linebacker at quarterback this week. Remind me what that means for the vaunted Rams pass rush, which, look, has generated more pressure than any team in the National Football League. They just haven't terminated against some of the more elusive quarterbacks.
Okay, I have to get something off my chest. You guys know what this means? That's that John Cena can't see me. No, that is actually a defensive line signal. That means cover me. That means I'm hot. That means I may have a two-way go. So if I take it inside, you come outside. You watch me. So I asked the D-line coach, what's the plan today when you have to go against a guy like Josh Allen? So you have one guy, maybe two guys that are hot. Two-way goes. The other two will be spies. Okay. So somebody's got to move him off the spot. The other two have to cast a wide net. So that's exactly how you have to face guys like him. But the problem is, even if you don't get to him, he can still throw it a mile. He's the closest to Aaron McNair that I've seen.
Wow.
Such a problem where he can run and throw it and beat you that way.
Yeah, to me, I'm going to say this, and I've said it earlier. You want him to throw from the pocket, which sounds crazy, right? It's like, really? You want him to throw from the pocket? Yes, because when he gets out of the pocket, he's a problem, right? You talked about the size, the ability to run, the way he takes over games, the energy that he brings when he runs over a linebacker or drags a defensive lineman. We don't want that. Make him stay in the pocket and throw from the pocket, and you're going to have chances because he gets a little antsy, and he'll take shots and try to throw into tight windows, and that's when you take your chance. But if he gets out of the pocket, be ready. There's going to be a lot of problems.
I think his butt's bigger than mine. Yeah.
Great segue. I thought this was Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, by the way. That's John Cena.
No,
they borrowed it.
No.
Okay.
They just borrowed it. It's a D-line thing. Yeah.
John Cena's old?
John Cena's old now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Let's talk turnover margin because Matthew Stafford has been every bit as good as Josh Allen in these last 3 weeks. He's really, I think, taken this season by the horns. But the Buffalo Bills are so difficult to beat because, DeMarco, you talked about this earlier in the week. They got the best starting field position in the league, and they're plus 17 in the turnover margin.
It's ridiculous. Every time you turn on the tape, Josh Allen is attacking from great field position.
Every time.
It's tough to stop from anywhere, but you give them good field position, it's almost a guarantee they're going to score. But I'll say this, as a bell cow back and the most important guy, the face of the franchise like you were, how do I coach you? So how do I ask Matthew Stafford, you have to be better? When you're doing everything, you're the focal point. You're the guy we have to keep upright. You're the heartbeat of the football team.
I think he knows, don't you?
I think so. I hope so. But how do I coach you to get better?
Behind closed doors. when we have those closed door meetings, just me and you, I'm going to point out those areas that you have to be better in. The footwork that has to be better. The decision-making that has to be quicker. But in front of everyone else, I'm going to be like, hey, come on, we need you, right? Like, you got to go. But you have to have that relationship. We know Sean has a relationship with Matthew to really give him the understanding, like, look, this is where you're struggling, red zone, right? Or this is where you're struggling, third and 3+, like you talked about last week. If you can be more consistent early in games, early in downs, early in drives, then we have a better chance.
I believe you. I think he knows too.
Yeah,
You're exactly right.
I think he knows
yeah.
his team can go as far as he can take it based on his December and January performance. Let's get into some of what to watch for. And I want to talk Cooper Kupp here, a season low in terms of receiving yards last week in New Orleans. What type of receiver game do you expect from Kupp and the Los Angeles Rams today against this Buffalo secondary?
He has a tough task today. Terrion Johnson is going to play that nickel spot that is blitzes off the edge, but they sit in that cover too. So to me, I think if he can find a way to create space between Johnson and whoever that corner is on the outside, or Johnson, whoever that linebacker is, he should be able to catch those 5 to 6 yard routes over and over and over, because that's what the Bills are going to give you.
They play a ton of zone, and the Rams have built-in zone beaters. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, that's where they make their living.
No one's going to mention Taylor Rapp yet?
You
Revenge
did.
game, I did? Okay. He's a great tackler. We'll see. But, yeah, there's going to be opportunities. And for Matthew Stafford, same thing. Fall in love with Puka, but don't forget about Cooper Kupp.
Right.
Here's a guy that's, like you got that alter ego with. Make sure you get Kupp involved as well.
One other note that we want to pass along, it is My Cause, My Cleats Day here at SoFi Stadium. Players wearing cleats and warm-ups. They help design for causes that are near and dear to their own hearts. All right, let's finish with the Little Caesars delivery of the game. Our delivery of the game is delivered by Little Caesars, the official pizza of the LA Rams. We take a look at who we think will deliver this afternoon against the Buffalo Bills. DeMarco Farr, lead us off.
I can. I'm looking at pizza right now. Hold on a minute. But we just talked about it.
Rampage.
I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford. Give me one of those. Thank you very much. I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford as my guy. And the last 3 weeks, he's been lights out. 8 touchdown passes, just 1 pick. He's been great. But completion percentage has to be in the 70s today. If he's up in the 70s, that means Josh Allen is a spectator. That's got to happen today.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna go to the defensive side. So funny you went offense, I went defense.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Omar Speights, who had a great game last week, was rated one of the highest players. See, look at you.
I'm sorry.
Look at you.
Hungry.
You got to wait.
I got fat dude tendencies.
But this is what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
He's going to be needed in this running game today. I got a chance to talk to James Cook, Ray Davis. They have guys that can go. And then guess what? Josh Allen can still run the football. You're going to have to nullify that running game from the second level. The front line already has their hand full. You're going to have to fill in where those guys miss and make those big-time tackles.
Hey, Rampage, happy birthday, buddy.
Hey, happy birthday.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
I'll go with Joshua Carty for mine, okay? He had a career day here about a month ago against the Miami Dolphins. Has not made a field goal since. A miss in New England, a miss against Philadelphia, no opportunities against the Saints. If the Rams do what I think they're going to do today, they're going to have a chance to win this game. They can't win this game unless Joshua Carty does his part, maybe even with the football on his laces in the final seconds of this game. Joshua Carty is my pick. That's a wrap on the Rams pregame show, delivered by Little Caesars. We, of course, welcome in Rampage and Caesar as we celebrate Rampage's birthday today. Make sure you celebrate with a pizza party. Download the Little Caesars app and use code RAMS15, RAMS15 at checkout today for 15% off your order of $15 or more. Excludes taxes and fees. Get your game day delivered with Little Caesars. It's America's Game of the Week on Fox. Kickoff 125. Yes, Tom Brady on the call for the first time for a Rams game.
Can you rap? I'm hungry.
For MJD DeMarco Farr, I'm JB Long, and for all of our appetites, enjoy this afternoon, enjoy your pizza, enjoy Rams and Bills in Week 14 from SoFi Stadium.
Is he in there?